As the county executive representing 1 million residents and the caretaker of county parks and property, I'm standing here to let you know that I am filing 2 lawsuits against the state of New York, Riverkeeper and Entergy, in order to ensure that a thorough and appropriate environmental review be completed and that we can protect our taxpayers, our ratepayers, our workers from self-inflicted catastrophe. So here are just 6 of the critical questions that need to be answered for the 9 million people affected in New York City and Westchester by the decision to close Indian Point. First of all, how high will taxes have to jump to recover from the loss of thousands of jobs and $1 billion in economic activity? How much higher will ratepayers have to pay? How realistic is the plan to make up the loss of 25% of Westchester and New York City's electric supply? Now, we've been told that half the supply will come from running a cord on the bottom of the Hudson River from Canada all the way to New York City. Canada, a foreign country, and New York City, and we're going to have no environmental issues whatsoever, and it's going to be done in time. Nobody believes that. Will taxpayers end up with the bill? Because there's expected to be a $1 billion shortfall in the decommissioning fund. How will climate change be affected by the shutdown of a zero-emission power plant? Any replacement energy that comes from fossil fuel sources will be adding carbon emissions into our air. And is the nuclear waste cemetery left behind going to be safe? Now, the spent radioactive fuel rods will be on site for a period between 60 years and forever. Where are the reports on what that could mean for our water, our soil, and our health? This is not about whether or not to close Indian Point. Even if that decision has been made and is going to continue, that's not what this debate is about. This debate is about forcing the state to follow their own laws, environmental laws. It's about protecting the environment, protecting ratepayers from ever-increasing electric bills, from taxes going up, devastation in our schools, and the job loss. And so they've got to follow the law. They're not immune to the law. They can't make it up as they go along. This is not about Entergy. Entergy has been an amazing corporate partner in Westchester. I think they're wonderful what they've done for our community. And I know this part of it is about an economic decision by Entergy. But I do think the state was going in one direction. They were planning for the relicensing of this nuclear power plant for another 20 years. That's what they were supposedly studying. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, they do a 180, and now they're going to close it down and not take into account all of the consequences that we have to deal with. Right now, on the first lawsuit, which is today's deadline, the plaintiff will be Robert Astorino as county executive and Robert Astorino individually. The second lawsuit, which we have until the end of August, can be anyone and everyone that wishes to join in on it.
We're filing this afternoon, and then we're going to serve, and we're going to do that promptly within the next, I hope, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. And then the respondent defendants will have time to answer. Probably they'll ask for time, so I would say the pleadings won't be joined until probably 60, 75 days from now. And then hopefully we'll get our day in court and let a judge tell us that the environmental law applies to the closure of this nuclear power plant.